What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back. Welcome back. The official kickoff for season 3 of the Thomas Freeme TV and podcast show.
Trying to build a prison. You can't handle the truth.
So first and foremost,
Trying to build a prison.
all right.
You can't handle the truth.
Lag. You got to love lag. So first and foremost, happy Labor Day to all the hard-working Americans out there. We need to pat ourselves on the back for putting up with the crap that we've been putting up with. Happy Labor Day to you guys, man. I pray that you're doing it responsibly and that you're relaxing and spending time doing what it is that you want to do and being healthy and responsible in that. We're not getting carried away and going to jail or getting hurt in any kind of way. So, many blessings and praises for that. And please, let's not forget what Labor Day was instilled for, what it's here for, right? And that was to enforce fair labor for us, we the people, to make sure that we weren't being taken advantage of and that we were being compensated fairly for our work. And that's a very important topic, especially going into today's times where we don't feel that way. You know, they say that history repeats itself, and maybe that is what is occurring now. You know, how many Americans feel like their work, that they're being compensated for their work effort, for the energy that they're putting out? Not many can say that. So when we're out working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and we're barely being able to pay our bills, let alone have few little things for ourselves, we have to really get into looking at fair labor again. You know, what's really going on. So that is the history of Labor Day, you know, and we cannot forget that. We have to remember that, and we have to take these things serious going into where we're at today when it comes to work. What's going on with Walmart, Amazon, and a few other these conglomerate corporations that is just grinding people out for profit. Also, what I don't want to forget is what our incarceration population is going through. You know, the brutality of prison. Most prisons do not have air conditioning. So when you get down here into the southern states, it's a brutal environment. And a lot of these people don't deserve that type of brutality. You know, yes, crimes are committed. Yes, people go to jail. Some people deserve the time that they get. There's no question. You know, I'm an eye for an eye type of dude, and I get that. But most of our prison population does not deserve the brutality that is put upon them simply because of personal issues that they have, brokenness that they have inside of them. You know, and we cannot forget these people and turn our backs on them, because what's happening is the corruption that ensues when we turn our back on what these politicians are doing, these legislators and these politicians. Speaking of which, please donate to cominghomecoalition.com. It is imperative that we get this foundation, this charity up and running and get it going. The support that I've gotten so far is astronomical, which has gotten me here where I'm at now with the studio and office ready to open the doors to this community outreach in the Tampa Bay area. Our first initiative is a fundraiser, a drive for care packages for the homeless. So you can visit www.cominghomecoalition.com to understand more on what that drive is and how to donate, sponsor, be involved with that. Also, the thomasfreemeshow.com for a more in-depth view of what the show is and what what it's going to entail for season 3. That is a website I'm still currently working on. At the end of the day, it's just me still doing all of this here. I have a wonderful friend that's running the charity and allowing me to really focus on the podcast, getting it back into good faith with my listeners who have been so loyal to me. But I want to get consistent, and I want to start putting out consistent shows and start going live at least 2-3 times a week with different types of shows. With that being said, donations can also be received for postings. So these are individuals and their families that I have worked closely with. So they will be up on the board. And yeah, you can have essentially a message to whomever, however, your business, whatever it is that you want to bring light to. I'll have a donation board for you to post your things for a certain amount of time. Again, I will update that onto the website, and these names and posts will stay on for a majority of the show. Fluoride, what's going on, partner? I see you, brother. ATL in the house. So, with all of this being said, moving forward, I think my first discussion of season 3 is going to be one that I'm lining up now with a guest that I had, one of my first guests by the name of Robert Jenkins, Esquire. He is an attorney out of Virginia who I just recently made contact with again to hopefully bring in and get scheduled a discussion with a lady out of Virginia whose son got sentenced to a lot of time, all being because she called the police to do a welfare check on her 17-year-old son at that time. Of course, the police being who they are, things got out of control, spiraled, and then all of the weight fell onto the son, of course. So that'll be hopefully one of the first discussions I got coming in shortly. Now, how I plan on doing this here with these lives is I have a pretty large audience with my Spotify and Apple, so I'm going to always make them the priority as well. My lives, of course, will be here on YouTube, and I will switch the episode over to my Spotify, Apple podcast. And for the discussions as to which I had just spoke about, those will probably land on my Spotify first, on the podcast portion first. I don't know if I'm going to upload them here to YouTube yet. I may just keep this strictly for live. I'm not particularly sure. But if you do not know about me, you can simply Google Thomas Freedme and understand who I am, what I'm doing, the messages that I'm bringing. Majority of my messages will revolve around the individuals, the families that I'm working with, as in John Merritt and James Griffin. Specifically, these are two individuals that have been incarcerated for a very long time and is completely innocent. John Merritt of murder here in Florida, James Griffin of attempted robbery and attempted murder out of Kansas. The James Griffin is particularly close because this is a civil rights issue. The man that was robbed and shot, who is deceased now, his name was Bob Frazier, simply said that his assailant sounded like a black man. He testified that he was blindfolded and didn't know what his assailant looked like. He just sounded black. And they went on a manhunt for black people in Kansas on that day. So that's a case that I'm going to bring a lot of attention to. John Merritt, as I really start pouring into that, and I'm starting to find the corruption within our law enforcement here in Florida, particularly North Florida, and the prosecutor's office with this case, it's just disgusting. Tomoji Kinsu in prison, 37 years, disgusting. It's disgusting, and it's all behind crooked politicians, prosecutors with the power to hold these people in prison so that their portfolios do not get uncovered. Their corruption does not get uncovered. So this is election time. If you guys believe in that process and you think that your votes really do make a change, then I suggest that you really look into who you're voting for. Get out of the pocket of red, blue, all of this divisiveness that they instill into us, but really pay attention to who the character is, look at their body of work, and let's start putting good people into office. Let's see if our system really, really works. I'm for all of us Americans doing something in unity to make sure that our system works, whether we all vote for one person or we don't vote at all, something to know that our vote works, something of unity to send out a message to these people that we're not playing anymore. We're tired of this. We're tired of working all day. We're tired of our families being incarcerated. We're tired of being harassed by the police. We're tired of it. Like, what is going on? What's really going on? So that's essentially what my podcast is about, is just bringing these discussions. I took a little hiatus for a while because I just I got a little discouraged because people empathize and they sympathize and they, oh yeah, I know, but nobody does anything about it. No one is going past the point of getting up and getting active in their communities, doing something about it, getting involved in our schools, getting involved in our local police stations and whatnot, and really being involved in holding people accountable. Nobody's really getting into it. Everybody wants to sit around and talk about the corruption, and they're tired of it, but we just can't wait for football to get started. Speaking of which, I did my little fantasy football drafts, got that out of the way. But that's it. The settles change a little bit. I'm gonna get me a little greenery back here, a couple little plants or something maybe, and try to make this look a little professional as much as I possibly can. Because I want to be taken serious, because these are serious issues that I'm bringing. These are people's lives, and I'm not just bringing people on to vent or make up stories, but to truly bring awareness to the ones who don't believe, the ones who really don't see what it is that we talk about and bring. So that's essentially what we can count on for season 3. Again, I'm going to start being more active. I don't know what the shows are going to be. I know I'll probably have one on Sunday as a good, positive, spiritual show about self-uplifting, because that's always important as well. Especially with these topics that we bring. At the end of the day, we always have to know it's okay. Even though that we know all this evil exists around us, we have to know that we're only walking in our path and dealing with what is in front of us in that moment. We know that evil's out there. We know that it exists, but is it in front of you? Is it in front of you in that moment and dealing with that versus allowing what's known out there to really worry us, even though that it's not in our lives? Again, we see all of this going on all the time. People talk about all this crime and what particular types of people are doing and so on and so forth. But when you ask this person, true, these are the things that we hear, but have you seen it? Have you been involved in that? Have you been there personally and dealt with it and seen it with your own eyes? The majority of the people haven't. Their information that they're getting is coming through the TV. And we know how flawed that information is. If you don't by now, then you really are asleep. But and that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing to try to bring my experiences and the people that I know, their experiences, to light, so that people can hear the truth. Now, it's not the absolute truth, but it's my truth and it's this person's truth, of their experiences. And we can either listen to them or not. And hopefully, I guess what my goal is to create repetition from all across the land, right? You're hearing the same story from different people about our corruption in our prosecutor's office, the corruption in our judicial system, our legislative system, just this corruption over and over and over again, in hopes that it may even end up being the same person. You know, if I interview enough people from a certain town and they keep saying the same person's name, what are we the people to think? And more importantly, what are we to do about that? You know? Look what's going on up in Michigan with these people, man. Look what's going on up in Michigan with these representatives up there. It's a shit show. I told myself I wasn't gonna cuss, but I just can't. I can't help it, man. When you're dealing with these people, it's a true enough kangaroo court. If you know what a kangaroo court is, then you know. If you don't, Google it. It's a true kangaroo court, man. Keystone Cops, and this is what we got going on in Michigan. And there are humans, American citizens, that are suffering to these political games that these crazy human beings get themselves involved in. And again, that's why I'm here, to try to bring awareness to this in the hopes that, I don't know, maybe somebody will do something about it. You know, we'll get some leadership to step up. We'll get some people with some cojones to really start taking charge and a justice for what's right and what's wrong. You know, and it's just common sense. You know, it's common sense for right and wrong. It really, really is. You know, when it comes to the natural living of life, you know, anybody that has been paying attention throughout their life, at this stage in their age, you know, the stage in their life, mid-40s and up, you should understand the fundamentals, the essence of what life is really about. And we are the ones who are supposed to be indoctrinating this into our children so that they can come up under that. But we're not. We're not. We're too worried about other things, and especially here in America. You know, we are just a bunch of people, human beings, who just want to be entertained constantly. And we don't want to have to deal with the issues. We don't have to want to work on the problems. We don't want to unite with nobody. We don't want to talk to nobody. We just want to be left alone and enjoy our little luxuries that we've built in our life. That's what Americans essentially want. And this is why these politicians have run amok in this country, man. Run amok in this country. And who pays the price for it? Not the rich. The middle class is damn near dissipated. So who's really, really paying the price for all of this goofiness and amokness that we've gotten ourselves into? That's right. The poor community. The ones that nobody cares about. You know, the ones that everybody else can just walk over and sidetrack and justify in their minds that they're addicts or homeless, or don't want to work, they're lazy, whatever. So, if you love this country as we the people, the patriots, and you love what the country is supposed to represent, what we thought that this country was built on, right? If you love this country, then you'll do something. You'll set aside these entertainments that we've surrounded ourselves with and start getting involved in our public school system. Start getting involved in what the hell is going on in our foster care system. These are issues that deal with our children. The children is the future. We wonder why our children are shooting up schools and going crazy because we haven't been involved in their lives. We've allowed government to take control of their lives, and it's driving them crazy, just like the government is driving us crazy. So, Thomas Freeme, man, the Thomas Freeme TV and podcast show. Again, you can log into cominghomecoalition.com, the thomasfreemeshow.com to find out more of how you can help, how you can support. And that's essentially it. I'll lay out, I'm going to try to be more interactive with my website and scheduling, laying out the program. I really want everything to go through my website to inform my people, because I'm 7 days a week, and especially now coming in with John Merritt, like, this case is huge, and I'm uncovering a lot of corruption, and I don't really know how to deal with it. This is still an active prosecutor, right? That knowingly lied and covered up evidence, destroyed evidence. Right now we're trying to find DNA samples that cannot be found. Like, there's a lot going on with this case, and this man has been in prison for 30 some odd years. So it's getting involved in these people's cases, and not just, putting them to the side and ignoring them. But these are human beings. These are human beings who deserve life, just like every one of us. Just like any one of us deserve life, these human beings deserve life as well. Tomoji Kinsu, James Griffin, Curtis Davis, these people's lives have been ripped from them by overzealous prosecutors and attorneys who only cared about their career and their lives, and they get to go home and have fancy dinners with their family every day, while these people are fighting to come home and to justify not only clearing their name from these atrocities that they've been, charged with, right? But having some semblance of life. This is their life, just like it's your life. You have a right to live it until you choose to give that up. These people did not choose to give that up. They were framed. They were framed and they were coerced by overzealous, powerful human beings that put their foot on other people's necks to advance in their lives. So, yes, it's that disgusting to me, right? Especially when you have individuals who take an oath to protect and serve, right? They take an oath. They swear on their dignity and their honor, which they don't have. This is why it's so easy for them to take this oath and swear, because they don't have morals. They don't have these human these human capabilities, these passions that humans have. They don't have that allow them to go in and take this oath that they take to protect and serve and to uphold the Constitution of America. And they don't. They abuse it. They take advantage of it for political gain, career gain. So yes, it disgusts me. It absolutely disgusts me. So that's Thomas Freemy. That's what I do. You guys, please tune in, share the program, log into my website, follow me on Facebook and such to find out when the schedules will come out, the shows, the types. I'm going to have a true crime night as well, where I will be breaking down some of the cases that I'm working with, because I need my true crime detectives to work on this stuff with me, So I'm going to get it all together, man, slowly but surely. But I appreciate all the love and support that I get. All my fans, I love you guys for sticking through and understanding my inconsistencies. I try to be as transparent as I possibly can, because, you guys dedicate your time, which is very important to me. Time is very important to me, and I respect that. I respect the fact that people dedicate their time to me. To me, that's something that's very special. So I want to respect that and give my appreciation for those that have stuck by me through these times. And I'm trying to be as transparent as I can to allow you to understand why I'm not so consistent, man, and I understand that. But with that being said, I love you guys, as always, from the heart. We the people. This is about our communities. This is about unity. This is about bringing awareness to what's going on to the people. This is a channel for the people. My charity is an outreach for the people, and I'm dedicating and sacrificing my time and my life for the people, because I know it's just that important. So, if you got an issue, reach out to me. We can bring awareness to it. With that being said, I love you guys again. Take care. Continue striving to be your best self. And look out for one another in the neighborhoods, man. That's all I got to say, man. Peace. I love you guys. Take care.